guys and gals, and we're here from Drake Wing Gaming and 79 on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Remake, Sissel's Path. So before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos, one of which is already out right now. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Alright. Speaking of which, we should probably get out of here. We were almost out the door when suddenly an anguished wail echoed through the building. My daughter! I forgot my daughter! You mean your bird? My daughter! I glanced over my shoulder. Philip's pigeon was still at their table, neck deep in a glass of red wine that it was using as a makeshift bird bath. A frantic staff member suddenly stepped on the tablecloth, pulling it down and causing the pigeon to tumble out of its drink with the grace of a wet sponge. Oh my god. Oh god! A horrifying animation. The pigeon puffed up with as much indignity as a pigeon its size could muster. In a drunken rage, it flew over every single dining table in the restaurant and knocked over every candle it could find. The restaurant was suddenly alight with a wall of flames that spilled over the dining area like the ocean tide. Oh my god. It's fine. The building deserves to be burnt to the ground. It's an abomination. One of the restaurant managers broke down in tears and let out an anguished cry. Satisfied with its work, the pigeon flapped towards the exit and landed boastfully on Philip's shoulder. Oh, thank God you're safe, Holly. Squawk! Your bird is a menace. I know, right? Isn't she great? She's probably going to be charged with murder and get thrown in bird jail, Philip shrugged. It's fine. It's starting to rain outside anyway. Nobody's going to die. I think. At this point, all the restaurant guests and staff made the smart decision of evacuating the whole building. All that was left was a mass of angry wasps and a sea of fire that spread across what remained of the dining hall. Sissel and I were already outside, staring at her handiwork through a window. This first date went way better than I thought than I first thought. I fucking love you, man. I love you too, Adrian. But, the fire's spreading towards the liquor table. Oh, yeah, we should probably move back a bit. Boom! Goes the dynamite. Oh. Uh-oh. Burn indeed. That night, on our first date, Sissel and I put an end to very legal seafoods. The fire danced against the night sky in a romantic glow as ashes and embers of the ruined restaurant slowly drifted down to earth. Sissel and I fled the building safely along with the rest of the customers, laughing gleefully the entire way. Nothing else in the world seemed to matter anymore. No judgment, no expectations, and especially not that accursed restaurant. It was just the two of us having the time of our lives. A clap of thunder shook the air as rain fell from the sky, soaking the two of us in a wet embrace. My hands were still firmly clasped in Sissel's as I turned to stare at him, my heart skipping a beat. Sissel stared back with a silly grin on his face. Suddenly he pulled me close to him as he leaned over me, his face soft with a fond look. Aw, hello. Oh look, another thumbnail. Oh no! This sounds like copyright music. Knock that shit off. Okay. So, that was one hell of a first date, huh? I had a blast. Thanks for bringing me out here, sis. Of course. I'm always happy to be with you, Adrian. Sissel let out a shy laugh before leaning closer to me. But, you know, there's still a little something we can do to make it even more romantic. And a little something I still need to say to you. Ha! Smooth. And I think I know what you're getting at. So I chuckled and pulled Sissel a little closer. The two of us simply stared at each other for a solid minute, too shy to make the first move. There was a long pause before Sissel laughed and finally pulled me closer to his chest. Hey, Adrian? I love you. Do it. Kiss him. Kiss. Yes! Oh, fuck yes. Yes. Oh, it's so good. This is what we've been waiting on. Sissel blushed a bright pink before leaning forward and planting a light kiss on my lips as very legal seafoods burned to the ground behind us. I leaned into his kiss, blind to the embers and the rain that fell from the sky around us, focusing only on the wonderful man in front of me. So, you know, water time. Well, I don't have any water, so I guess pause time? Whatever. This was truly the most beautiful night, fire and all. Making out in front of a burning restaurant. That's funny as fuck. The two of us broke out of our kiss, breathlessly staring at each other before breaking out into a hearty laugh. That felt really nice. You're too darn cute. Meanwhile, Ginny, Philip, and Owen watched us from a distance, satisfied smiles settling across their faces. Ha! Look at the two of them. Looks like Sissel's finally starting to grow a healthier sense of self-worth. All thanks to Adrian. Overall, I'd say we chaperones did a pretty good job tonight. Ginny, everything's on fire. It's a restaurant owned by my family. The damn thing deserves to go down. Plus, nobody died. That's a pretty good strong positive. Fine. I guess the night went pretty well, all things considered. I don't think I've ever seen Sissel or Adrian so happy before. Philip glanced at me and Sissel in the distance with a smile before pulling Ginny and Owen away. Let's leave those two lovebirds alone for now. They deserve their privacy. Avert your eyes, children. The banging shall commence. I don't know. I wasn't sure how long Sissel and I stood together, simply melting into each other's embrace. All I knew was that he felt warm and safe, and everything felt right. Sissel laughed and pulled me into a closer hug, nuzzling my neck fondly. So, we didn't actually eat much during the day, did we? Want to drop by the cafe and grab a bite to eat? And then maybe we could do some more fun stuff together. I grinned and gave Sissel a light peck on the cheek. We both blushed and laughed. That sounds like a great way to end the night. Lead the way, sis. And that is how babies are made. Maybe, I don't know. The rain was hammering... Okay, I think I can turn the... There we go. The rain was hammering relentlessly against the roof of Herschel's cafe as he growled at his notebook for perhaps the 1000th time. The clock hanging above the kitchen door ticked dangerously close to 2 a.m. Thunder suddenly shook the air as lightning shot across the night sky. Herschel jumped and groaned, his back creaking from sitting and scribbling at papers all day. The ringing in his ears faded after a moment. His frustration, on the other hand, was still boiling angrily in his tired mind as he read over what he wrote. Herschel thought writing things out would help him sort out his thoughts, but there was no easy way to confess everything to Sissel. Surprise! I'm actually your uncle. Also, I kind of indirectly killed your mother and destroyed your chance at a decent childhood. Sorry about that. Herschel scowled and tore out yet another page from his notebook before tossing it bitterly into the growing pile of crumpled paper in the trash bin. There was really nothing he could do to soften the blow of his confession, was there? He didn't want to hurt Sissel, but Adrian was right. The longer he waited to tell him, the more painful it would be. But still, he didn't want to drive Sissel away. Herschel sighed. He had felt so empty after Cecilia's death. The last of his family. Gone. Despite the slim chances, he had tried to hire people and private investigators to help find her missing child with no results. For many years, he had mostly given up. Herschel had half-heartedly used the competition prize money he wanted to build his cafe, Cecilia's Dream Cafe. The two of them had talked and daydreamed countless times about opening up a cafe of their own. Now here it was, empty, with only Herschel left. The cafe ran with relative success. The regulars here seemed to love it, but there was that constant haunting thought in the back of Herschel's mind, wishing his sister was here to enjoy the success with him. And the reason she wasn't here anymore was because of him. He really was worthless without her. Another clap of thunder shook him out of his stupor. Herschel growled and crumpled up another chunk of notepad paper. He really shouldn't be left alone to his own thoughts. So you know, it is water time. And we're back, y'all. Suddenly, a metallic crash shook the cafe walls outside. Herschel jumped onto his feet. What the fresh hell? Uh-oh. Y'all, really? Herschel rushed outside into the rain to find Sissel and Adrian laughing hysterically under an upturned shopping cart. They were both caked in mud and rain, but looked like they were having the time of their lives. So, how did your date go? We burned the place down. Herschel stared. You're speaking figuratively, right? Nah, it was literal and really fun. Especially the part with the wasps. There were wasps? And then we decided to ditch the place and come here since the cafe's way cooler than some snobby restaurant. But we were too lazy to walk, so we stole a shopping cart and scooted here instead. Herschel eyed the upturned shopping cart in the mud, its wheels spinning lamely in the rain. Y'all raced a shopping cart down the street? In this weather? That's just asking for trouble. Hey, a date's not complete with a little danger and thrill. Were the fire and the wasp thrill enough? Herschel chuckled and shook his expression in exasperation. Kids these days, dates are supposed to be simple and relaxing. How do you know? Weren't you single your whole life? Well, excuse you. Herschel coughed loudly. Wow, it's raining dogs and cats out here. Y'all young'uns better come inside before you catch a cold. Are you hungry at all? Not sure if a burning restaurant serves good food if they're on fire. We wouldn't want to intrude. Both Sissels and my stomach simultaneously let out a loud growl. We looked at each other sheepishly. Herschel let out a jovial laugh and ushered the two of us towards the cafe door. Food it is, then. I'll whip something right up for you kids. Why don't you both stay the night here? I wouldn't want to send you young'uns out to the rain again.
Well, we don't want to be a bother.
If I thought it was a bother, I wouldn't have offered. You can always make yourself at home at my place, sis. Sissel fell silent, both surprised and moved by Herschel's hospitality. The showers are upstairs. You are both filthy. Go clean yourselves up. Food should be ready in a jiffy. This should be a perfect way to end your little date tonight.
All right, if you say so.
Sissel and I were ushered into the familiar second floor of Herschel's cafe. The place was small, but still cozy with its well-furnished bathroom, bedroom, and guest room. I felt a familiar bittersweet tinge in my chest. In the previous timeline, this cozy place burned to ashes along with the rest of Herschel's cafe. We finished showering and grabbed a change of clothes before stumbling downstairs. Herschel greeted us with a jovial grin while standing over a sea of food spread across the cafe tables. Finally! What took you two so long? Food's all ready, so make yourselves at home. Sissel and I stared, the rich smell of a home-cooked meal wafting through the room. Buttery shepherd's pie, spiced green beans, and a massive mix of fried potatoes and cheese that would make a nutritionist faint. Our stomachs growled as we hesitantly sat down.
This is all for us? Isn't that a little too much?
Nonsense! What's with all the formalities, sis? Are you going to refuse after I went through all that trouble cooking for you? Hurry up and dig in! Sissel and I exchanged warm, grateful glances before helping ourselves to some pie. Herschel's cooking was no five-star restaurant food, but something about the way Herschel grinned as we stuffed ourselves made the meal even more delicious. Damn, this is really good. And here I thought you only knew how to cook pastries and stuff. What can I say? I'm a man of many talents. Sissel's ears perked up when he noticed something on a nearby shelf of the cafe.
Oh, hey, you hung up the trophy I won.
Sure enough, the little golden cup with a plaque reading Regional Culinary Championship Sissel stood proudly where everyone in the cafe could see. Next to it was a small number 2 ribbon also labeled with Sissel's name. It's like, water time. Now that's some good water. Watermelon and lime, I think. There was a large dent in the metal label, and as though someone had smacked it out of the judge's hand with a chair or something. Huh, there it is. I was wondering where that trophy went. Sissel scratched his head sheepishly. I
kind of headed it off to the boss since I was getting too grabby with it. It felt kind of gross, honestly. I figured boss could use it as free advertising for the cafe instead. They let me keep the number 2 ribbon, too, so I guess I kind of won twice.
I'll say, the cafe regulars have been yammering non-stop about your winning, sis. You should be proud. Sissel grew a bit pink and shoveled another scoop of mashed potatoes into his mouth.
Really?
Everyone's excited to see how you... Everyone's excited to see how you'll do in the national championships next week. I, for one, can't wait to see it whoop some ass on national television.
God, don't even mention that right now. I can already see myself messing up or doing something stupid for the entire country to see.
Hey now, stay confident, sis. With how cool-headed you were today, I'm sure you'll do fine. You've always been such a good pastry chef. Sissel took an awkward sip of tea, hiding his face behind his mug.
Not really. Remember that time I practically burned the cafe down?
Oh, that. That was years ago, sis. No sense worrying about stuff like that. My ears twitched and I glanced between the two of them nervously. Burned down? There was an awful sense of deja vu crawling up my spine. Herschel laughed and waved his hand dismissively. It was nothing, really. When I first started teaching Sis here, he was a really fiery kid. Got real drive and ambition, tried real hard to impress me and all that good pish. He just stumbled a little on the way, that's all. Sissel stared down at the kitchen table quietly.
I wanted to thank Boss for helping me out so much. So one night, on his birthday, I tried to surprise him by baking a cake. But it was real late at night and I got careless and tired. So I ended up leaving the oven on and falling asleep. I was so damn stupid. Herschel let out a jovial laugh and slapped Sissel on the back, almost sending his face into a bowl of mashed potatoes. What did I say about beating yourself up over dumb stuff back in the day? Stop worrying your little tail off. What's done is done. But you had to rebuild half the cafe. You had to sell your house just to keep the place afloat.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye!